This short video will introduce you to some of the Web 2.0 technology available to create surveys and gather information from students. There are a lot of resources available out there, and there are some really interesting ways that they could be used in the classroom. What I'd like to do is introduce you to some of the heavy hitters, and then provide a short demo of how to create a simple survey using Google Documents, and you'll see examples of that on this page as well. One of the big guns in online survey technology is called SurveyMonkey. It provides open access to surveys with a brief or with an easy to sign up free membership. Like many other online tools of this sort, there's a free version and a pay version. And with the pay version, you often get added perks like the ability to create more surveys, maybe some additional analysis tools of the data once you've collected it. But for the most part, the free versions are pretty good for simple surveys and simple data gathering that you might be doing in your classrooms. Off the top of my head, some great ways of using this might be to collect feedback about your teaching at the end of the semester or the middle of the semester, to get students involved in the creation of surveys and questionnaires in their own original research, or also to use as an easy way to gauge the climate of the classroom. Are students understanding what you're talking about? Do they have preconceived notions about a particular topic? So they can be great learning tools for gathering information on the fly, and many of them do allow for immediate results to be presented. So SurveyMonkey is one of those. They often offer a number of features for formatting and giving a custom look to your surveys, and there are a lot of background tools that can be used to help you figure out what the data means. Another tool is called Zoomerang, and it's very similar to SurveyMonkey in terms of the fact that they can create large surveys, small surveys that can be emailed and distributed to people within your organization, to your students, and provide you with feedback about things. Another that I happen to like quite a bit is called Polldaddy. And Polldaddy has that same sort of robust questionnaire survey option. In addition, though, there's a feature to allow for a small widget, very small widget, to be embedded into your web pages to provide immediate feedback on a particular question. An example of this is the Q&A NJ, Question and Answer New Jersey service, which is an online chat reference service available to New Jersey residents. On their main page, they've provided a little Polldaddy widget that says, "How did you hear about us?" Well, let's see. I heard about you on Facebook. And I submit my vote, and I automatically have the results of that survey, so I can see how I compare with others. This would be a great tool for embedding into a lecture where you have a PowerPoint and each student has their own computers to chime in with their response. To come up with a list of things that students might have as preconceived notions about a particular topic, to see whether a certain point was understood. And it's a great resource for sort of that on-the-fly data collection. Another tool that I've only recently discovered is called Doodle, which is actually an event scheduling resource. For all of those times when you've tried to set up a meeting with people from a number of different places, it's a great place to go in and list a number of possible meeting dates that are available. And then each individual can hop in and tell you when they're available. And this is an open service, so nobody has to sign in to use it unless you're creating these questionnaires. And this is a survey for a meeting that I was trying to schedule for this month, or for next month, and you'll see that a number of people have chimed in that they're available on given days. So December 9th looks like the best day for us. Finally, Google Documents, which you'll see referred to in the Collaborative Applications page, has a great, easy-to-use tool for creating web forms that collect data for you. And to do so, all you do is go into New and Forms once you've logged in, and be sure to set up a Google account beforehand, otherwise you won't be able to get into these features. And I have the option to name my survey, Demo Survey. I can include a short description. This is a test, but it can be pretty cool. Now, the first question option is a name box. Do you want to include your name? Do you want your users to include their name? And this is a default feature. By hovering over, you get different icons that you can use to remove questions, duplicate questions, or go in and edit particular questions. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this, but the options are pretty robust. I can have a text field, so my first question could be, how do you like my survey? And if I needed any other description of what the question meant, I could include it here. And this would be a simple text message. And I do want to require that this be filled out on all questions. Done. Alright, so now I have 2 questions on my survey. But those are pretty boring, pretty standard questions. I also have the option to do multiple choice, checkboxes, choose from a list, a scale from 1 to 10, or 1 to whatever I choose, or essay type questions. So let's do one more before we finish up. So I've created a new one, and because I'm using the radial buttons, those disks next to my options, I'm going to my users will only be able to choose one. So, how did you hear about us? Is a fairly standard point. If I were in the classroom, I could use something like this to ask, what was the cause of the Civil War? And provide a number of options that students could choose from. So, how did you hear from us? Radio. I can add a new question. Television. And if I had another, I could add other, which would create a field that students could then enter more data into. And I'll make that required as well. And when I'm done, it's easy enough to save. And if you look a little lower on the page that you're viewing right now, you'll notice examples of a survey that I've created, as well as the results page, which can be easily embedded into other websites, other resources, and provide immediate feedback on different questions that you might be interested in or might be asking about in your classes.